Good morning, traders and investors around the world, and welcome to premarketinginfo.com, where we prepare you for the most important, the first hour. Dennis, we kind of got some mixed signals here in the market. The S&P spiking after the Apple numbers and pretty much selling off the rest of the evening.
Yeah, we rallied 5 points off that Apple report, Joel. Obviously, Apple's still up huge, up over 31 points this morning off their blowout earnings report. But after Obama's State of the Union address, we sold off and we're down over 4 now. So I guess the market not loving the State of the Union.
Okay, on to the S&Ps here. We made an overnight high at 30. $2 shy almost of Monday's high. 13.18 and a quarter has been the high of the move so far. So major resistance coming from 13.1650 up to the 18 and a quarter level. Coming down low currently stands at 13.05. Currently trading at 1307. This 1311 is a huge swing area. We've had our last four closes from 1310.50 to 1311.50. That also coincides. So 1311 is going to be real good resistance this morning. See if we can test it early in the session. Moving on to the Big Ten, ExxonMobil, kind of weak yesterday. Couldn't get to Monday's high. Sold off to settle at 87.18, currently trading down in the pre-market. Let's look at Tuesday and the three-day low to be major support at 86.66 to 86.72, and find resistance at the close.
Yeah, and if you look a little higher than that, Joel, that 87.90 area, $88, call it some major resistance. I think I see it's a lot of high-frequency traders selling in those 87.90. So you get up there about $1 from here, because we're actually trading down 30 cents at 86.90. I think you find major resistance in ExxonMobil again.
Okay, moving on to Apple Computer. You know, Dennis, it's always a challenge to do numbers when you get a stock like this. So if you look on the site, folks, we have some spotted numbers. I'll just go over them for you real quickly. We're 68.95 on that number. So we'll call that major resistance. If it gets anywhere near there, I think it'd be worth taking some longs off or trying some shorts. So far, the after-hours low has been 446. We hit that just after hitting the high. And basically, Dennis, we've been consolidating here for the last several hours. The consolidation high has been 455.01. Consolidation low has been 450, and really just been hugging this 453 area, trained on both sides of it. I'd use that as my swing number.
Yeah, Joel, we have been quiet actually. This stock, how it was nuts there after the report for about an hour, but it settled in, and it was settling in right in this 452, 453 area even last night. And this morning I come in stocks in the exact same place in this 452, 453. So the market feels like it's kind of found a value here for Apple. This whole area probably not a bad swing area. We start to break down below 450, and then I'd be a little bit concerned. But and if we broke above 455, then maybe we could get that continue a rally up there to those after hours highs.
Yeah, I got some buddies that trade Apple on an institutional desk, and what I'd have to say to you is have fun today. Moving on to IBM, just continues its assault on the all-time high there up at 180, 194.90, stopping yesterday at 192.30 with the close right at that area at 191.98. So let's use that whole area 192 to 192.30 as major resistance. Above that, you're certainly looking at the 194 level. Coming back on the downside, Tuesday's low was above Monday's low, so our first major support in IBM would be 188.52.
The stock initially really popped on the Apple earnings report there after hours. It got into the high 193s, believe it or not. This morning come in, it's actually trading down with the overall market. It's trading down at 190.173, so down 20 cents. It's traded as low as 190.129, so it has been quite a bit lower. So doesn't look like it's going to get a sympathy move here this morning. A lot of your tech stocks actually are not trading higher there, so it doesn't look like they had a good sympathy move after hours, and whoever's buying those after hours looks like they're going to get hurt a bit because a lot of these tech stocks don't look like they're opening that much higher. I'd look at this 190 area, which is an
Okay,
old resistance, Joel. I'd look at this 190 area, which was an old resistance, as some possible support.
Okay, that's a little bit closer than the number I gave, folks. Moving on to Chevron Corporation. Let's play the tape from yesterday, Dennis. Last six closes in Chevron Corporation: 106.72 to 106.71. 106.72 has been the lowest of those six closes. That's where it's closed yesterday. Currently trading down a little bit in the pre-market. Looks like we're poised to test Tuesday's low at 106.16. Below that, Dennis, I think this stock could be in trouble, perhaps heading for the 105 level. Coming back on the upside, couldn't get much over 107 yesterday, 107.09. Looks like someone wants out at this 107, Dennis. Is there just a blind seller in there, or do you starting to see some size associated with this movement?
I don't see any size, but I agree, Joel. I was actually going to point at the same number. Somebody seems to be selling it there. We've got, 1, 2, 3, 4 tops really in this 107 area here over the last few trading sessions. And the stocks chart is starting to round here and starting to look weaker. We talked about this pennant formation. It's starting to get towards the bottom of that, and that would signal a possible breakdown. So I think if you got back up there to settlement 106.72, there may be some sellers starting at that point.
Okay, Mr. Saw finally starting to show a little weakness, Dennis, after that monster run, culminating in the good earnings and whatnot. Made a high yesterday at 29.57. Got through our previous day's low at 29.35. Got down to 29.18 before settling at 29.35. Sure looks like this stock is kind of itching to fill that gap we have down between Friday's low at 28.75 and the Thursday high at 28.43. Coming back on the upside, I think if you get a sneak at the close here, it'd be some minor resistance, but major resistance forming at yesterday's high at 29.57.
Stock looks tired to me, Joel. It's and even looking at this, it's not having a sympathy move either with Apple. Did last night, popped up a bit on the earnings report, got in the 29.40s, but now pulling back here this morning. I don't really understand why all these techs aren't having any type of sympathy move with Apple, but you just got to go with what the tape's telling you, and it's telling you that the stock is starting to look a little bit weaker. And we've had a heck of a run in here, so it's not surprising that this stock continues to pull back a bit.
Okay, GE. You probably would fall asleep if you were trading this thing yesterday. 11-cent range, kind of opened lower and went lower, but not much lower. It's really 19 that resistance level that we popped over. Actually, the five previous days we were able to pop over 19, but we couldn't really. We did get 3 settlements above there, and then the next 2 days we pulled back. 19 is still going to be major resistance here. Sure looks like the stock is getting ready to test that 1850 level. Once we breach that 1850 level, this thing could be in trouble, perhaps heading down to the 823, 1829 level.
Yeah, geez, another one. This 19 area looks like it's been topping out. We talked about it as high as 19 and a quarter. There was major resistance, but now it looks like 19 is going to start providing resistance as well. I see some more size starting to form in the book. So this thing gets anywhere up into the 1890s. I think the high frequency traders start to come in and give you resistance. So I'd be a seller in the high 18s.
Okay, Procter Gamble. We've been talking about this stock for a while, just kind of the consolidation, similar to the patterns that we had in the Chevron Corporation. After hitting 67 just a few weeks ago at the beginning of the year, this thing is peeled back to the $64 level. I got a nice bounce to close at 64.50. Resistance, I'd say, would be coming down now from that major resistance at 67, probably moving down to 65 here. We have a gap between Tuesday's high and Monday low, 64.75 to 64.78. So coming back on the downside, we'll use that close as our swing number, currently trading below it. Dennis, but below $64, man, look out on this thing.
Looks weak, Joel. It continues. We continue to have some weakness in some of your defensive names. We've been talking about that for the last couple of weeks, and Procter & Gamble is no exception here. Another very weak day yesterday, bouncing off the 64. That was an old low back in early December, so we bounced right off that. I look at this 65 area as decent resistance now. I actually see some size starting to form there in the book, so I'd expect some high frequency resistance in the 64.90s. And you're right, Joel. We take out that 64 and Kitty bar the door.
Okay. TNT went down in sympathy yesterday with the weak Verizon earnings. Settled at 30.09, currently trading below that level. We do have a gap on the upside from 30.20 to 30.26, so that will be your major resistance area. 30.09, your swing number as the close. Tuesday's low, 29.92, would be minor support. Sure looks like this stock might be trying to head to those 9 and 10-day lows here in lower 29.70s.
Yeah, the stock was very weak with the Verizon report there yesterday, selling off over 31 cents, which is a big move for AT&T. I'm always a big fan of those 2-day sell-offs, so it wouldn't surprise me if we started taking out that 29.92 low from yesterday. If we sold off another 20 or 30 cents, 29.5 is very good support. I don't see us getting that low today, but if we were to drift down there over the next few days, I think you'll find some buyers down there.
Okay, J&J, quite a wild ride yesterday after earnings, opened up and rallied. Folks, we'll play the tape again from yesterday. Your last 10 closes in J&J from 65 to 65.29. Correspondingly, you probably have had that many highs between 65.30 and 65.60. The stock is just winding up for something big here, Dennis. Don't know exactly what, but I still think until this thing settles above the 65.5 level, you have to wait for it to break down below this 64.34 level. Interestingly, that shot that it took there yesterday off the open was basically the third time at this area. You know what? There's no such thing as a quadruple bottom. So look for a nice sell-off if and when J&J goes through 64.34.
Yeah, that's the bottom of your range for sure, Joel. And your upper end of your range, you're pointing out pretty good. 65.5 is what I would say as well. I've seen some size forming there in the book too. I'd expect some high frequency resistance in the 65.40s. If it gets above 65.5, then 66 looms large again.
Okay, Pfizer, kind of in sympathy with these other defensive stocks after sniffing that $22 level a few times last week. Has not been able to get back up there so far. Made a low yesterday at 21.52, bounced up and closed right near the high at 21.66, 21.67. That will be our swing area. I see we're trading up a couple pennies from there. May have a good low risk shorting opportunity and Pfizer off the open. Below the Tuesday's low at 21.54, we're looking for the 12-day low at 21.39 and major support down at the $21 level.
Yeah, stock here looks weak to me as well. Just like I've been saying, some of these defensive names have been weak. This stock is slowly starting to break down, and I agree, Joe. We get up into the 21.90s. There are sellers all over the place up there. The 22 is enormous now. And if we break down below this 21.5, then it starts to open up again, Joel. So definitely a seller. I'd be a seller on rallies in this one.
Okay, well, we're starting to sound like a broken record with these charts in the Big Ten. S&P is corresponding up at higher levels as well. We'll see if Apple can save the day and carry us up and make a new high at this 13.18 and a quarter level. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with our market movers.